A compelling detective story, a cloak and dagger action, and a romantic drama, all these stories were taken from real life. The history of Kazakhstan is inseparable from the world history. Reflections on history, our version. The love of the Snow Maiden and Genghis Khan. It's winter of 1881, a murky day, almost evening to be more precise. A mix of snow and rain is pouring down, but there was barely room to move in the driveway to Mariinsky Theatre. Today is the premiere of Rimsky-Korsakov's opera The Snow Maiden, with Feodosiya Velinskaya in the lead role. The production was literally dazzling. It was one of the events never seen before, and over 40,000 roubles were spent on scenery. Even choristers and extras had wonderful costumes. Contemporaries bear this out. It was indeed a success, and with all eyes being on the lead character, the Snow Maiden. This is an extraordinary, incredible character. But which direction is the Snow Maiden looking? Or Feodosiya Velinskaya, to be more precise? In the theatre box sits a person who is evidently Asian. His fixed gaze discomposes the performer and doesn't help her to fight the racing throb of the heart. This is her secret and the love of her entire life. They're separated. And is it really impossible for them to be together? The banquet for the opening night is nearing the end and spectators are ready to go home. The curtain call is over, but life goes on. Please give a carriage to His Imperial Majesty Genghis Khan. He did the Hajj twice. That's why a Muslim man couldn't have married an Orthodox woman. No, it's not an affair, it's a marriage. How this marriage was registered and whether it was registered at all remains a mystery. Chapter 1. Gubaydullah. Only the court, the guards and aristocracy could afford subscription seats in the theatre box for the whole season. Ballet was on in the Mariinsky every Wednesday and Friday, with the opera shown on different days. All guards officers frequented imperial theatres. Furthermore, Pushkin even referred to them as the honorary backstage citizens. Performances, which started at around 7, would normally last well into midnight, with some intermissions adding up to 40 minutes. Rumors flew around that lunchroom owners lobbied such lengthy breaks. However, intermissions were sometimes useful to settle government issues. Ergo, going to the opera was not only entertainment, but also social engagement, especially for a general from the royal entourage. The son of Jahangir Khan, Gubaydullah Genghis Khan was precisely a person like that. The emperor allowed him to bear precisely this surname, because it showed that he descended from Genghis Khan. The hero of the siege of Pleven, decorated with medals, has a refined mindset and is one of the pioneering communicators of the Russian Empire. He's diplomatic, tactful, but not sycophantic with the powers that be. He's also aware of his worth when dealing with the low ranks, but doesn't show arrogance. With equals, he's the life of the party, but never loose-tongued. In matters of honor, he's impeccable, but doesn't boast of achievements in the love life. He was open and down to earth, also decent, and ready to help the poor. He was mixing in the circles of famous people of the then Russia. Even the emperor was considerate to him. He had a free entrance to government and imperial receptions, and could even approach the court without prior report. He's over 40 now and still unmarried. For a man, this isn't critical but strange. The cream of the crop houses of St. Petersburg were ready to make a match with him, but the general was indifferent to the advances, thus giving an excellent reason to set the tongues wagging. He had a romantic affair, but it ended tragically. He has a bride back at home in the steppe. Oh, don't say that. Our handsome general is romantically involved with a woman of high station. Surely he'd had affairs, and of course there were romantic stories, but no trace of it has reached us. And recently he's become a bit too secretive, turning friendly questions into jokes. Acquaintances also say he started coming into the theatre too often. Chapter 2. Feodosiya. An opera in 4 acts with an epilogue entitled A Life for the Tsar. Gubaydullah Jahangirov, who is said to have not missed a single performance. This makes me think that the matter at hand was not patriotism, but the fact that the part of Antonida, the daughter of Ivan Susanin, was played by Feodosiya Velinskaya. She was a very good-looking woman with a remarkable voice. Perhaps a lot of men's hearts raced with excitement when she sang her part. It appears that Feodosiya's fate was not happy. It's unknown where she was born, yet she had a splendid coloratura as soprano. She had a truly natural and unbounded talent, but had never been trained professionally. She started off as a singer in Kiev in 1871 by performing the part of Margarita in Faust. She supposedly came to the theatre not because of some fancy wish, but to make a living. It's known that she married a conductor, Vilinsky, with rumors flying that she'd done that for gainful purposes, and moved to St. Petersburg. There she entered the Imperial Mariinsky Theatre. Singing on this stage was the pinnacle of artistic career. That's where she met Gubaydullah. Why are you surprised? When they were off stage, he was introduced to her, they became friends, and he courted her. All was usual. Her talent was noticed with favorable remarks from the imperial family, but she also faced not-so-merciful comments from the music critics. Her voice was said to have been magical, but not perfect. She lacked mastery. Apparently her temper could sometimes be nasty too. It was the 3rd night of May. Velinskaya was warming up her vocal cords. She was to sing the part of the Maid of Pskov in the 3rd act, but for some inexplicable reason she refused to sing. Velinskaya was accused of being cold and capricious. However, Rimsky-Korsakov didn't have any concerns about the Snow Maiden. At that time it was a normal occurrence to rerun the most popular arias. So the arias of Lel, Kupava and Snow Maiden were repeated thrice, enjoying the audience's applause each time. Music written for my Snow Maiden is astonishing. I had never pictured to myself something that would be more befitting and so vividly reflecting all the poetry of the ancient pagan cult and this initially coldly hard-eyed and then volcanically passionate character of the fairy tale. The volcanically passionate character of the fairy tale. Her natural aloofness was melted away by the power of love and she perished. The flame of her heart and uncontrollable tenderness burnt away her soul. Apparently in real life the Snow Maiden was both passionate and exuberant, and also maybe unbeknownst to herself, she was faithful and loyal too. Two souls who mutually complemented each other and needed one another have joined up. It was a union of ice and flame. Chapter 3. Fairy Tale Love. Driveways in St. Petersburg are ostensibly called entrances. This is Nikolaevskaya 17, now known as Maratha Street. But where the entrance is remains to be seen. This is an area that used to be filled with the elite residents. He had lived here from 1897 through to 1909. So until death, yes. In the 19th century, entrance was an important element of everyday life, with all its attributes, including data, who came, when, and who pays visits to whom. I'm sure that their relationship wasn't a secret in the neighborhood. Velinskaya is just a feather-bedded actress. She's a golden title digger, and this general is simply her next victim. He's good-looking, well-heeled, the Tsar's favorite, all is clear. How can this be possible? She's married. Oh, please, her husband has passed away and they love each other very much. Oh, but it's indecent no matter what. Such was a romantic story, but everything started when Marina Irkhina and Kuspan Mukutaev decided to write a book about the outstanding and undeservedly forgotten general. They dropped by St. Petersburg Ethnography Museum by mere chance, assuming that the repositories might contain things brought over from the bouquet hoard, and they were lucky to have found such things. The inventory sheet has records of everything. For instance, these are papers dated 1919 from Petrograd. They were sent by Miss Feodosiya Velinskaya. She claimed that she was Genghis Khan's widow and brought in a few things that he used to carry to remind himself of bouquet hoard. We're shocked. Why her name was Genghis Khan? How could a woman with such a Russian first name as Feodosiya have a surname Genghis Khan and own Kazakh items? They started looking deeper into this, found where the mysterious lady had lived who so cherished the things that were dear to her heart, and later during a hard time and in the middle of the civil war took them not to a flea market but to a museum. They happened to be neighbors. Perhaps it was a coincidence and then their destiny brought them together. Or maybe they decided to rent and register the house. One of the flats was registered in the name of Genghis Khan and the second one for Velinskaya. In such a manner, what none of the two had wanted to make public became part of the public domain, the love of the Snow Maiden and Genghis Khan. Apparently, they had reasons for hiding their relationship. Gubaidullah's service record shows he wasn't married. Gubaidullah Genghis Khan passed away in 1909 in Yalta. His tomb hasn't been preserved. According to the official biography, up to 1907, Velinskaya had sung in the Kiev Opera, and what happened then is unknown. Most likely she was with Gubaidullah. Plenty of examples of his kind heart can be produced, but one can't enumerate them all. He was also a wonderful family man. He had a wife, but didn't leave offspring. I don't think that one could describe it as some light flirtation or passing fancy, some cohabitation, or as if he simply sustained the actress. 2 months after the general's death, Emperor Nikolai received petition from actress Velinskaya to enable her to use the surname Genghis Khan. It's known that Nikolai, who was an excellent family man himself, didn't favor adulteries and didn't encourage flings with actresses. The petition was satisfied. The emperor, upon the report of the petition from the former actress of the opera troupe of imperial theaters, Feodosiya Velinskaya, as of the 30th of April 1909, all mercifully willed to allow her from that day onwards to use the surname Genghis Khan. You see, people don't talk at length about such love. In this particular case, love is more of an internal temper. It's not out for the public eye. The Snow Maiden outlived Genghis Khan by 2 decades. Various data suggest that she died either in 1929 or in 1931. The location of her grave remains unknown to this day.